Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about yet another coin that recently got listed on Coinbase, and this project is called Render Token or the RNDR token, right? Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects we got on our channel. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to the website rendertoken.com in order to learn more about this project, right? But before we move on to Render Token, I just want to talk to you guys about Gateio. Gateio is a cryptocurrency exchange that lists cryptocurrencies and tokens way before any major centralized exchanges can list this token. And this basically provides an opportunity for you to buy tokens before they can actually hit a 50 to 100x, which definitely increases your profitability, and before they get popular because of listings in major centralized exchanges such as Coinbase and Binance, right? So if you haven't already have a Gateio account, I suggest you to use the link in the description or on the screen in order to get a 30% trading rebate along with an opportunity to buy cryptocurrencies before they could get listed on major exchanges, right? And if you use the link below, you are also supporting the Brutal Investor channel, and I would like you to thank you in advance for that. So going back to the Render token, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to rely on the information presented on CoinMarketCap's page for this token, along with the information presented on their website itself. But this is only going to be a peripheral analysis, which means you need to do your own in-depth research before you put your hard-earned money on this token, right? So what is Render? Render token or the RNDR token is a distributed GPU rendering network built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, aiming to connect artists and studios in need of GPU compute power with mining partners willing to rent their GPU capabilities out. So when it comes to Render, it is actually a project that focuses on decentralized distributed GPU network that is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, and its main aim is to connect artists and studios who are in need of graphics processing unit or the GPU power with mining partners. So basically they connect studios and artists who need the GPU power with miners who have the GPU power in order to facilitate the flow of GPU power from one location to another location in a decentralized manner. And this basically helps the artists and studios to get access to the GPU power which they would otherwise not have, right? So that's basically the main goal of Render, conceived in 2009 by OTOY Inc., CEO Jules Urbach, and launched in 2017. Render held its first public token sale in October of that same year, followed by the private sale period lasting from January 2018 to May 2018, wherein a total of 117 million Render tokens were sold at a price of one Render equals 25 cents, US dollars wise. So this is basically, this section is basically talking about some of the history of the platform itself. It's been around for quite some time, since 2009, and it is basically a project that initially saw about 117.8 million RNDR token being sold at 25 cents per token. Again, if you see the current price on the top right corner right now, people who really bought the token during the private token sale price are obviously sitting in a really good profit right now. And if you see during the private sale period, early adopters were onboarded onto the RNDR beta testnet, where beta node operators and artists worked collaboratively with the RNDR team in building and testing the network up until its public launch on April 27, 2020. So the early adopters basically were onboarded to the RNDR beta testnet, and this is basically where beta node operators and artists basically work collaboratively with the RNDR team in building and testing the network, right? And this public launch happened on 27th of April 2020. So how does RNDR actually work? RNDR is an ERC20 utility token used by artists on the network to exchange for GPU compute power from GPU providers or node operators. So RNDR acts as a currency of transaction or payment for people who buy GPU computing power from GPU providers, right? And it is an ERC20 token, so it's basically a token that resides on the Ethereum blockchain by default. RNDR utilizes a combination manual and automatic proof of work system, or in this case proof of render, in order to verify all art has been successfully rendered prior to payment dispersal and art art release. So when it comes to combination manual, it uses both manual and automatic proof of work systems in order to kind of like make the combination, in order to utilize the combination, and at the same time it kind of like uses proof of render, which is the same thing as a combination of proof of work and proof of manual and automatic proof of works. So the proof of render is basically the main consensus mechanism by which it works on. But since Ethereum in and of itself is a proof of work blockchain, render kind of uses both manual and automatic, right? And it uses this in order to successfully render the process, and also to make sure that the payment dispersal and art release happens on time. It uses this system, right? Utilizing the inherent security properties of the Ethereum blockchain, proprietary assets are hashed upon upload and sent to node piecemeal for rendering. So again, since it uses Ethereum's security features because it's built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, the proprietary assets are basically hashed upon upload and sent to node piecemeal for rendering. So that's basically how the rendering actually happens. All RNDR payments are stored in escrow during rendering and are released to node operators upon manual verification by the commissioning artist of successful work. So when it comes to payments, since RNDR is used as a payment system within the render ecosystem, any RNDR payment is stored as an escrow. Basically, when GPUs are being transferred from the GPU provider to the GPU recipient, the fees that both the party pays, or the party that wants to buy the GPUs pays to the GPU supplier, this fund temporarily gets into an escrow where the funds rest there till the operation is complete, right? And once the operation is complete, the escrowed RNDR tokens are sent to the GPU service providers in order to incentivize them, right? To prevent malicious actors in both user bases, all assets rendered on the network are watermarked until payment is successfully disbursed, upon which time unwatermarked renderings may be downloaded and all payment is held in escrow until manually verified as being correctly rendered. So when GPU information is transacted from the source to the sink, there is obviously an escrow section, and even within the escrow section, in order to make sure that malicious actors are prevented from manipulating the system, there is a watermark. So there's a watermark that's been laid to the funds that are in the escrowed location, and this is unwatermarked when the transaction is successfully verified and completed. In many cases this is automatic, but there are instances where manual verification is performed before the watermark can be removed to an unwatermarked status, right? So that's basically how the RNDR token or the platform works, right? So here they talk about the next section basically talks about the team members and the committee members as well, which I'm going to skip for now. But overall, this is all the information that we have from CoinMarketCap's page, right? So when you go to the rendertoken.com, which is their official website, you can clearly see that they have a pretty simple website. What they're stating is distributed GPU rendering on the blockchain. So this is their main goal. Subscribe to RNDR for updates. So you can basically sign up with your email address and become a part of their newsletter to get more information about their project, right? And when it comes to about the network itself, the render network is the leading provider of decentralized GPU based rendering solutions, revolutionizing the digital creation process. So they are the leading provider of decentralized GPU storage, GPU services, which is pretty cool because there are lots of centralized solutions, but they are one of the first and the only leading GPU service provider in a decentralized manner, right? And this obviously helps in revolutionizing the digital creation process. When it comes to introduction, you can clearly see there's a video here which I highly recommend you guys to watch through in order to learn more about this project. They are trying to solve our visual world is evolving at a breakneck speed, and therefore the demand for GPUs are quite high, and they are trying to solve the problem of issues with centralized GPU transaction services, and therefore they're trying to implement a decentralized solution which not only makes the process much more efficient but also rewards the parties in a fair and transparent manner, right? So some of the benefits of using RNDR or render network is its network is scalable. So there is, even though it is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain, it is fully scalable. You also have the sleeping GPU network, which operates in a way which is much more efficient compared to other GPUs. And if you go to the next one, you can clearly see a better use for GPU power. So there is a lot of GPU power that's wasted from the source, and those could be put to use in the render network in order for people who provide the service to earn some additional income, right? And the last but not the least, the digital rights management is basically going to be a place where RNDR ledger is based on, and it's stored on this particular management based on these rights, and therefore it's definitely going to help creators and users to benefit from this platform, right? So those are some of the main highlights of this project itself. Here they have a flowchart of how the render network works, which I highly recommend you guys to read through. When it comes to the use cases, where can render network actually see itself being in the future, right? It can be a part of the media industry, just any regular industry in general, augmented reality, mixed reality, gaming, medical, as well as virtual reality fields as well, right? So it's pretty cool and exciting to see. Here is the information about their founders and the committee members, so you can kind of like search more about them in order to understand what other projects they are involved in, or what projects they were involved in before investing in this project, right? So when it comes to the core team members, there's a lot of core team members here whom you can also search on LinkedIn, people handling community outreach, and apart from that, they're also in the news just like any other popular project in crypto. They are spoken about in the news, crypto news media outlets. So this includes Forbes, Variety, Upload, Nasdaq, VentureBeat, and FX Guide, right? If you see the partnerships that they made some really good partnerships with Decentraland, Saya Network, Basic Attention Token, Algorand, and so on and so forth, right? So they are working with multiple different platforms as well as dApps in order to make sure that their services are basically being used and a lot of people are onboarding onto their services, right? And if you want to learn more about this project, you can also go to the FAQ section to understand how their project works, and also access their social media information at the bottom of the page and read through their white paper, which I recommend you guys to do so, right? So overall, render network is a really complex project to understand, but it's quite a very useful and needed project for the future of GPU resource sustainability, right? So going back to the CoinMarketCap page for this token is currently ranked 95th by market cap on CoinMarketCap, and is currently trading at $3.34 at the time I'm making this video, with a 0.93% increase in the past 24 hours. Again, if you see, this token is already in the top hundreds. It's just going unnoticed, and therefore there's a huge potential that this project can eventually come close to being within the top 75 ranked cryptos, right? When it comes to the market cap itself, this token has a market cap of $713.3 million in market cap. Since Render Network being a part of the Ethereum blockchain and GPU mining is what most people use to mine Ethereum, at least in the proof of work stage. I think Render Network is kind of providing an opportunity for GPU mining farms to earn additional income, passive income, by selling out their GPU power, right? So for a project that is doing so much, the market cap being kind of like less than $1 billion is quite surprising. And I think this project is going to definitely skyrocket in value in the future because of its significant market cap increase, right? And if you take a look at the max supply itself, this token is capped at a max supply of 536.8 million tokens, and out of which 213.5 million tokens are already in circulation. It's about 40% of the max supply, which is a pretty good number. But I feel like the max supply being slightly above 100 million tokens, which is again 5 times more than the 100 million tokens that I would personally prefer, is kind of like a little bit upsetting. But at the same time, there is a cap which is pretty good. It definitely will have a short-term price slumping, at least in the mid to short term. But I think in the long run, depending on how GPU rendering goes, there is going to be a huge demand for a render token if the demand increases for GPUs, right? GPU power, right? But that's something that's yet to be seen, and there are some caveats to this project which I'll cover at the end of the video. So when it comes to the charts itself, you can clearly see that this token was pretty much doing nothing in the initial stages, but it started pumping like crazy, especially mid to early last year was when this token started pumping like crazy. The initial token price was 5.3 cents per token as of June of 2020, and then it literally didn't do a lot, occasionally reaching close to 10 to 11 cents per token. But it was only when this token started reaching early last year, when this token went from 29 cents to a new all-time highs of close to $2.49, and this was during March of 2021. And then this token started kind of like dropping down, reaching a relative lows of 43 cents per token as of 25th of June, and then it started rallying upwards, reaching as high as $1.59 per token before going down and then moving sideways. It was kind of like in the 90 to 97 cents range during October of 2021, and all of a sudden from nowhere this token started pumping like crazy, reaching to a new behemoth all-time highs of what, close to $8 per token, before crashing down immediately to the price point of about $4, slightly less than $4 per token, and then it kind of pumped again, and then it dumped again. And with the Coinbase announcement, I think this token is going back up. Now it's currently trading at $3.34, but as you see, the token is still kind of like in the upward range, and therefore I would suggest you to wait till this token goes below maybe the $2.50 mark or the $2 mark, which would be a really good opportunity to buy this token, right? If you're buying this token right now, it's still kind of like close to its third all-time highs, and I would probably suggest you wait till this token goes below the $2.50 mark or $2 mark, which will be a really good opportunity to buy, right? Again, not finished advice. This is just my opinion. When it comes to the Bitcoin comparative as well, this token was as volatile as the dollar comparative. It was initially worth kind of like 493 satoshis per token, reached a new all-time highs of about 2,384 satoshis per token before going down, and then reaching a relative lows of about 367 satoshis before going to a new all-time highs of about 4,464 satoshis per token, and then it moved sideways for a bit, reaching 1,600 satoshis per token. But then it started pumping in mid to late 2021 to a price point of close to 14,000 satoshis per token, before going down to a price of retesting of 6,000 satoshis per token. And after the Coinbase announcement, this token is close to 10,000 satoshis per token, and now it's kind of in the declining trend, right? Again, even in the Bitcoin comparative, we clearly see this token has pumped like crazy, and I would never suggest you to buy this token at this price point, because in the Bitcoin comparative, this token seems to be going down in the downward trajectory, which means the best opportunity to buy this token would be somewhere less than 4,000 satoshis per token. That's going to be the best case scenario. But knowing that the market volatility is quite high, I think this token can be a good buy token if it's somewhere between 5500 and 5000 satoshis per token, which would still be a good opportunity to buy. But I think it's better to wait for this token to go below the 4000 satoshis mark, which will be a really good bargain price to buy this token, right? But I would suggest keeping the dollar comparative as a primary means of buying this token if you do plan to buy this token, because Bitcoin comparative is seemingly extremely volatile, and if you see the profitability is going to be quite low when it comes to Bitcoin comparative versus dollar comparative, right? When it comes to the markets itself, this token obviously has a lot of listings in pretty much every single major centralized exchanges. Some prominent ones include Coinbase, Binance, Gateio, KuCoin, Huobi Global, FTX, Gemini. Pretty much every single major centralized exchange has this token. And if you want to buy this token from a decentralized exchange, Uniswap version 2 is available, as well as version 3, right? But I think crypto.com and MEXC have also listed this token. So therefore, I think this token has literally no new room to grow, because it's pretty much listed on all major exchanges, and therefore there is really no other ceiling, because the thing is, there's literally like no other short-term opportunities for this token to pump. And with its tokenomics being a little bit concerning, obviously because of the max supply being quite high, the token can slump in the short term for quite some time, right? So that's something that you guys need to be very careful about. One of the issues with this project is that even though there is a lot of potential for GPU rendering in the current scenario, once Ethereum goes to Ethereum 2.0, this token will definitely have a lot of trouble functioning as efficiently as it is doing right now, because Ethereum miners and Ethereum validators definitely need GPU mining power in order to kind of like validate the blocks and get rewarded in ETH. But once Ethereum goes to a proof of stake network on the Ethereum 2.0 ecosystem, then I think the render GPU power would be less required for Ethereum. And being one of the largest blockchains in the crypto space, I think Ethereum moving away from proof of work to proof of stake is going to be a really big blow to render token. But again, there could be some other factors in play that still makes render token much more valuable, and it's kind of like DeFi model, not DeFi model. Like I think it's kind of like a project on top of the Ethereum blockchain, which relies on Ethereum's proof of work systems to function properly in order for this project to function properly, right? If it becomes a proof of stake blockchain, there is going to be an opportunity. There is going to be a chance that this token will dump, because it won't have the same level of demand as it had before. And even though there are other GPU related projects that will still use GPU power, I don't think render would have such a big market share as it claims to. So that's the only concern that I have about this project, right? Everything else seems good, so except for this particular fact, as well as its extremely high max supply is quite concerning as well, right? So what's my final verdict on this token, guys? I think this token is a token that I would personally not buy in, because with Ethereum 2.0 wrapping up pretty closely, I would probably say this is a really cautious player. Definitely a good short-term player if you know how to play this token. Even for short-term players like this token, I would not buy this token at this current price point, because it is going to dump and you will be losing a lot of money if you buy this token at this price point. If you want to buy this token, I suggest you to wait and obviously do your own research and try to understand this project way more before you put your money on this token, right? So I think for the short term, this token definitely has a good potential. In the long term, depending on how much they still stay relevant in the Ethereum 2.0 scenario, that will determine the project's success and the token's profitability, right? But again, this is just my verdict, guys, not financial advice. Please do your own research before you put your hard-earned money on this token, right? When it comes to Gateio, please make sure to create a Gateio account with the link in the description below in order to set up your own Gateio account to buy cryptocurrencies way before they get listed on major centralized exchanges. And if you want to test out the platform, it's a very good platform. They have lots of features, and you also can participate in Kusama, parachain slot crowd loan auctions through Gateio itself. So there's a lot of features, including features that are found in Binance and several other major exchanges. The only thing is that Gateio lists tokens way before any major centralized exchanges can list it, which makes which makes the token that you're buying extremely valuable to pump in the long run, right? So again, remember guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video guys. If you like my video, please click the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.